All right, here we go. Mike, you ready?
Yes, I am.
Are you? Are you? Are you? Are you? Are you ready?
Yes, I
I
am.
was trying to think of something else and failed. All right, shut up. I'm doing fine in quarantine. Why do you keep asking?
I don't know if they even still have their show. There's a segment on the John Boy and Billy show, the current events quiz. The answer was always C. It was this little jingle they would play before it started. It was like some people doing like silly cheerleader voices. It's like, ready, girls? Okay. Comb your hair and take a whiz. It's time for the current events quiz. Take C.
Wow.
Yeah,
Mike's
pretty
also
dull.
doing fine during quarantine. Why do you keep asking? Ow, jam. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the TMP Nerf Report. I'm Chewie. That's Mike.
Hello.
And have we got a doozy? So they announced.
They announced part two
They,
of the
they
balance
announced
changes.
yesterday. I think it was yesterday, day before. It was Thursday or Friday. That there was another patch coming next week, and it had a long list of cards that they were looking at. And then I think later that day or that night or whatever, they went ahead and said, "Okay, here's what the nerfs will be." And I went, uh.
Was it that soon after? Just a day or less?
I think so.
Okay. I don't remember
I
anymore.
think they announced it one day, and then the next day, because I remember I was out taking a walk, which means it was. Hang on, that's my phone alarm. Shut up! Shut up! I'm a professional. But yeah, I was out taking a walk, which means it was around like 2 o'clock when Stark
Okay.
put in the Discord server. Here's what the patches are going to be. So I think it might have been the next day.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, let's just get to it, shall we?
Yes, let's
We've
show.
got some neutral changes. Kale Thos is just jumping up 1 mana from 6 to 7, which does limit some of the things you can do.
I guess it limits what certain classes can do. Like, I don't think Druid really cares.
Yeah, Druid doesn't care, and Demon Hunter, I think it'll slow Demon. They're not trying to kill. I don't think the Demon Hunter combo deck. I think they're trying to slow it down and make it slightly less consistent, because it is super consistent because it's got all the card draw known to freaking man.
Yeah.
Oh man, just 2 nights ago, I took 23 in attack and a Metamorphosis hit. So I took 28 damage. The only part of that was on the board was a 2-power weapon.
Mm-hmm.
And I took 28. One turn.
I believe it.
From hand. That was great. That was so good. I'm like, well, I think I was at 24. I'm like, I think I'm fine. And then I was dead. And I went, I hate this deck, and I hate everyone who plays it.
Yep.
But yeah. Like, that includes casting the Metamorphosis.
Mm-hmm.
They did all of that.
That was one of their free spells.
I don't remember.
I assume they would have to, because that costs 5, right?
I think it got hit by a skull, so I think it only cost 2.
Oh, well, ugh.
But even so, like, they had used one of their twin strikes, so they didn't have the full 4. But they still managed to somehow go 3 twin strikes, 2 inner demons, a metamorphosis, and presumably something else, because that doesn't add up to 28.
I guess something else got hit by the skull too.
Yeah.
0.
Yeah, I think it might have been a sigil runner.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not a spell. But anyway,
it's not a
I took
spell.
28 from freaking hand. And I was not happy. So, yeah, this this is just going to limit the amount of times they can do that, I guess. Because, again, even casting the Metamorphosis, if it got hit by a skull, costs 2. And the hero power costs 1.
Right.
And Kael'thas costs 6, which means... And they were out of mana when it was over. So something else got hit with the skull to only cost 1, I think. But still, that's ridiculous. Silly. So yeah, they wouldn't be able to do all of that with Kael'thas costing 7, I guess. It's not cool. So hopefully, like I said, this will slow it down enough to where it's not so damn consistent, but who knows?
Yeah.
A bunch of us in the Discord server were expecting it to say your third spell instead of every third spell.
That's what I was expecting too.
I'm guessing they're really trying to not do that if they don't have to.
They must. I mean, but seriously, like circumventing the mana cost of a card causes weird things to happen. And causes undesirable things to happen.
How many nerfs across the history of Hearthstone have been because of something being free?
Yeah.
Like a bunch. Like a bunch. But it's fine. You can just make multiple things free. And it's fine. Whatever you say, Blizzard.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll see what happens.
I guess. All right. Is that enough on Kael'thas's elvish punk ass?
I think so.
I hate that guy. All right, next up, Bad Luck Albatross, which, remember, is a 3-mana 3/4, a 4/3, 3-mana 4/3, is going up to 4 mana. Okay. I didn't see this one coming at all. I don't get it.
Well, it's not just like what it's quote unquote intended to do. You know, break up Zephyrus Alexstrasza decks. It's also pretty sick beatdown for a 4/3 for 3.
That is true.
And even if your opponent isn't doing a one of deck, the albatrosses that it stuffs in there, they don't help them. I mean, they're just blanks when they draw them. So it's not a drawback. The Death Rattle is not a drawback. Unless your opponent is some kind of weird Beast Hunter deck.
Or unless they've got Alexstrasza in hand, and they're going to cast it next turn. Damn it. There have been so many times where I'm like, don't kill it, don't kill it, don't kill it, don't kill it. And then they find a way to kill it themselves. I'm like, damn it!
Yeah, I was playing my all spells mage deck the other day, and my opponent stuffed 2 little albatrosses in there, and I'm like, oh, come on, why?
Oh, nasty. But I still don't like a 3-mana 3/4 is fine, but a 3-mana 4/3, that's also a tech card. That's all, I guess, because the stats are perfectly fine, and it's a tech card that sometimes will screw your opponent.
Yeah.
Tech card, they don't want tech cards to be auto includes. That's why they're tech cards, is my theory. So,
no, I agree.
I think they did this just to make it less generally good. And push it down the quality spectrum just a little bit, so you're playing it for the tech rather than for the stats.
Right.
Yeah. Alright, so next up, Frenzied Fellwing. It was a free 3/3, now it's a free 3/2. This is another one that caught me off guard. I was like, was there something... What's wrong with the Fell? Is it because Demon Hunter can somewhat reliably get it out on turn 2? Of course, so can Hunter.
Yeah, I mean... It is a little frustrating for some classes to kill just based on the cheap stuff that does 2 versus the cheap stuff that does 3, or the cheap minions with 2 power versus the cheap minions with 3 power. I think it's reasonable for a minion that can be free to only have 2 health, but I don't know. I don't have as much intelligence to say about this.
Yeah, possibly because none of us saw it coming.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I was like, they can't add 1 to the mana cost. That would make it suck. So this made it slightly easier to kill. I guess it seems like in the current meta, having 3 health is like the break point, because there's a lot of stuff that does 2.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess they thought it was slightly too sturdy.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know. This one, like I said, blindsided me. I went, oh, okay. But again, Blizzard's the one with all the data. So clearly they thought this was a good idea for some reason. And I mean, it'll make my life easier.
Same.
Since I can kill a damn Fellwing slightly easier now. I don't know if that means they're not worth playing anymore. It seems like a free 3 attack thing is still probably worth playing.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so let's get into the Demon Hunter-y meat of the situation here. All right, Altruist the Outcast is the 3-mana 3/2 who says, whenever you play the left or rightmost card in your hand, deal 1 damage to all enemies. And I went, surely they're not going to remove the deal 1 damage to all enemies. Like, because if they remove the face damage, that sort of defeats the purpose. Like, sure, most things that do this can't hit face. So if you say all enemy minions, that would just be the worst kind of nerf.
Yeah, then it's just a weird... Well, then it's just a, good... An extra good Wild Pyromancer. Which is fine, but not as exciting.
Yeah. For a legendary.
Mm-hmm.
But instead, they made him a 4-mana 4/2. Okay.
I mean, I think that's fair, because to get the most out of him, you need to play him and other stuff, preferably multiple things on the same turn. Adding even 1 mana makes it a lot different for what you're able to do. So that's why they gave the extra attack to compensate.
Yeah, that does add 1 turn before you can reliably, like, deal 2 damage to everything.
Mm-hmm.
It just, again, I was like, what are they gonna... Oh, they nerfed.
Yeah.
Okay, Altruist.
Sorry, we nerfed your legendary. Here's 1 more attack.
He's like, I skipped leg day, but I still kick ass. It just takes me longer to get there. Okay, buddy. Still spindly ass little legs. Oh, now I miss Tony.
Oh.
This guy I went to college with. He's a wrestler. He was huge, built, buff up here, and then he had tiny little scrawny legs. He was built like an upside down pyramid. It was really funny. Anyway. All right, next up. So Altruist is still going to be in decks. It's just going to take longer. I don't know. I don't think that's going to make him appear in less of the aggressive decks, because he's still really damn good, especially when they get crap on the board that you need to get out of the way, and extra few points of face damage. Yeah. All right, next up, I was proud of me. I called this one. Battle Fiend, which was the 1-mana 2/2 that gained 1 attack whenever your hero attacks. It's now a 1-mana 1/2 that gains 1 attack when your hero attacks. I was proud of me. I called this one. I was like, well, he's just going to be a 1/2 because a 1-mana 3/2 is stupid. So now he's a 1-mana 2/2, which is fine.
Mm-hmm. Now, do you think that this is enough of a change that it'll affect whether it shows up in certain decks? There are some decks that are still going to want it. Yeah, sure, duh.
Yeah, I think the aggressive decks still want him. I don't really see him in other decks, really.
Okay.
But
so they'll continue to not bother.
I tend to go into just a red haze whenever I play against the Demon Hunters, so
yes.
I don't really I really think it. Especially if I see a novice engineer, then the whole screen turns red and starts to shake.
Mm-hmm.
No, those are my hands because I'm playing on my phone. Wait. Anyway, what were we talking about?
Yeah, because missing that one attack over multiple turns, adds up. This isn't just a difference of 1 damage. It's a difference of, 2 or 3 damage, depending, which is meaningful for aggro. Every point counts.
I don't know, it seems like it's still enough of a threat to warrant putting in the deck to play early to force your opponent to deal with it, and they'll take some damage along the way.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, having not done the math, I don't know if there's something better. Maybe the 2/1 that gives you 1 attack for 1 mana is better over the course of a game. I can't imagine that that's better.
No.
So, I think it's probably still fine.
Yeah.
Alright, the next one, I also called this one, the Glaive-Bound Adept, is I forgot how much this thing costs. Is it 6?
5?
5?
4 or 5.
Okay, it's not 4.
It's 5.
Okay. The 5 mana, 7/4, with the battle cry, if your hero attacked this turn, deal 4 damage. Deal 4 damage. And so now it's a 5 mana, 6/4. Battle cry, same thing. And that was what I called. I said they're just going to knock a point or 2 of attack off of the Glaive-Bound deck because that's ridiculous. Although it's a hidden buff because now they can't Zephyrus for Big Game Hunter to kill it. Yes. Sorry.
Yes, its stats were kind of silly, so it makes sense that they take it down a notch, but that isn't really... I get the feeling that's not why it's played most of the time. I mean, at 4 health, in terms of things that can trade into it or things it would trade into, at 4 health, there's not much of a difference between 6 and 7 power.
Not really, no. I guess because if it doesn't die immediately after it does its 4 damage,
Yeah.
It's just too good.
Yeah, 7 is a lot.
Especially for 5 mana.
Mm-hmm.
Like, good lord. Like, I still think you play it in the same decks you were before for a 6/4. Because Mike said, it doesn't really matter.
Mm-hmm. The important part is that battle cry.
Very much so. But I'm wondering if that's because, like, the size of some taunts that it can run into, or...
Maybe.
Just face damage in general that's slightly too high. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I do agree that 7/4 is too much, but I don't know. This one's a little weird.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. Now, Demon Hunter did get a small buff because after all this time, Sacrificial Pact has been changed. Sacrificial Pact said 0, destroy a demon, restore 5 health to your hero. Now it says 0, destroy a friendly demon, restore 5 health to your hero.
Yeah. And before Demon Hunter and before a couple of surprise neutral demons over the past year or so.
And before Zephyrus.
I mean, it always said this. Because only Warlock had demons. And the only time when it was relevant for killing opponent's stuff is, a Warlock on Warlock match where your opponent happened to be playing some good demons. I mean, people didn't put it in their decks. Or, the Jiraxis Easter egg.
I really hate that, by the way.
Yeah, it's stupid. It didn't go into decks unless you were doing some pretty specific shenanigans and really needed the life.
Correct.
This is just the interaction with Demon Hunter, which is kind of an unforeseen circumstance. And the flavor of the card, it isn't supposed to do that.
Yeah.
I pledge to sacrifice my opponent's minion to gain life in return. It's like, no, that's not what the Sacrificial Pact means.
But also, the fact that there's so many Highlander decks running around that you can just get a Sacrificial Pact on command means, one, that like Demon Hunter just takes a hit from that because a lot of its minions are demons, like the Imprisoned Antian, the Priestess of Fury, the Battle Fiend.
Yeah.
Those are the big
Lots
ones.
of stuff.
But a bunch of them are demons. And the fact that you could spend all your mana but 2 Zephyrus for a sack pact and kill one of their big things and get 5 health out of the deal is like... Plus, if anyone ever played Jiraxis, you could Zephyrus 0 mana win the game. Like, that's awful. If you don't know the Jiraxis thing, 1, what hole have you been living in? And 2, Jiraxis is not quite the original hero card. He's a demon that when you cast him, he replaces your hero, but he's still a demon.
Yeah, it still keeps the demon attribute from the minion card.
So you could cast Sacrificial Pact on your opponent who was Jiraxis and destroy them, gain 5 health, and win the game. And like, that was cute the first time I saw it, and then I realized that's really dumb. But it happens so rarely. But now, again, you literally can't play Jiraxis because everyone's got Zephyrus. And you could just lose. So, I kind of like this. I also... my plan, or my thought, was that 0 mana was too good to use offensively. So they would make it 1 mana, destroy a demon minion.
Yes.
But this is more flavorful of sacrifice, to use a Magic term, sacrifice a demon. Because you can't sacrifice your opponent's stuff in Magic, only your own. So, yeah. This one makes a lot more sense. And now Jiraxis is safe. If you get Jiraxis off of whatever random thing generator, you're safe to be Jiraxis. Unless your opponent's like Puzzle Box or Reno happens to cast Sack Pact on your face. That's going to happen now. And I'm going to laugh. I'm going to see it in a Trollden video. So, alright, moving on. We've got Blood Bloom. I don't remember what Blood Bloom does off the top of my head.
I looked it up. Your next spell this turn costs health instead of mana.
Okay, that's how it's worded. Like, I knew what it did. I couldn't remember how it said it. So, yeah. Your next spell, what is it? Your next spell... The next spell you cast this turn costs health instead of mana. Which means... And now it's up from 2 mana to 4. And I think this is to help with... Mechathune combo decks, right?
That's what I'm thinking. And... I guess maybe there might also be some ridiculous early game combo that that can't happen anymore. I don't know enough about Wild, and I didn't read up very much on this to see specifically what its deal was.
Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of that I know of that Blood Bloom has ever been used for that would potentially be a problem. Because I built that deck a long, long time ago and played it a couple times and won with it, and I was like, ugh. And then I stopped playing because I felt dirty. So, yeah. No, I don't remember what the combo is now. It was, you cast all of your, you draw and cast everything in your deck, and you have...
Yeah, you've reduced Mechathune's cost with those mech guys with the battle cry,
the galvanizer, yeah,
the galvanizer, and you can 8 for Mechathune, Blood Bloom for 2, and either Nether Void or Cataclysm, depending on what else is left in your hand.
Right, yeah, it was Cataclysm. in the deck that I built. Yeah, I remember that now.
Like DMB says in chat, they say it's because of Darkest Hour. Okay, so that's what the DH Warlock that I've seen people talking about in comments means. Darkest Hour. What's Darkest Hour? Someone needs to explain that to me.
Bloodbloom, Reform Scheme, and Darkest Hour. I don't know what Darkest Hour Hearthstone. Darkest Hour is the spell that says destroy all friendly minions for each one. Summon a random minion from your deck. Wait, is that a thing?
Okay, so Reform Scheme fills your board with imps, and then you Darkest Hour to grab a bunch of jerks from your deck onto the battlefield.
Okay. Oh, and Bloodbloom means you can do it super early.
Yes, okay. I get it now.
I guess. But now Bloodbloom costs 4, so you have to
wait
longer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, that's awkward. Can you tell we don't play Wild at all? Because
No.
Wild is awful. Is that even Wild?
It has
Bloodbloom
to be.
is.
For Bloodbloom, yeah.
Yeah. I'll be okay. All right. Well, thank you, chat. So that's... Yeah, because making it cost 4 doesn't matter at all for the Mechathune thing that we were just talking about. That was nagging at the back of my head the whole time we were saying it.
It just means that you have to also have 2 more reducing effects to make it all happen in the same turn.
Oh, it does affect it because you have to cast Mechathune.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay, so that stops both of those. Ha!
Yeah. You have to have like a for real Exodia hand to do it all in, to be able to do it all in one turn with Mechathune now. Because both galvanizers also have to hit both of the 0-3s, the 2-3s that make mechs in your hand cheaper. So they come out for free, and then Mechathune for 6, and then Bloodbloom silliness. So it sounds like a major pain.
Buh. All right. I think we've all learned something here today. And that something is don't play Wild. All right. So let's talk about Paladin. Paladin is the only thing on here that got an actual buff. Librum of Justice, which is the Librum that says your opponent's minions now have 1 health, and you get a 1/4 weapon. That's not a Light's Justice. It's an overdue justice. Went from 6 mana down to 5. And thank goodness, because poor Warlock. No, poor Paladin. Poor Paladin just can't...
Yeah, that's a solid spell now. I mean, it was kind of appealing at 6 if you were also playing, Librum synergy stuff.
Yeah.
But 5, now it's actually like, hey, I might actually want to put this in a deck that's not like just Librum stuff.
Yeah, like I was having... Chat just said, I'm having pretty good success with my Librumarian deck. Yeah, I was too, while I was down in like silver and gold.
Mm-hmm.
Now I just... Before I can do anything, I just lose. I made it to Diamond 10. I was talking to Mike before this. I made it to Diamond 10, and I can't win a game anymore. Especially not with Libram Paladin. Mm-mm. And part of that is because by the time I find a board clear, it's too late. So hopefully, Libram of Justice, especially if you manage to snag one of the 2-3s that make your Librams cheaper by 1, hopefully you can find one of those sooner so you can actually use the Libram on turn 4, which sounds amazing.
Yeah. Makes the quality look kind of dumpy in comparison, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's because the quality is kind of dumpy in comparison. You remember when equality was OP? I do.
Yeah.
Pepperidge Farm remembers. 4 mana, clear the board with Pyromancer and equality. What?
Yeah.
Warlock's over here going, it cost me twice that! Get off my lawn! Shut
6
up,
mana one-sided clear with equality consecration.
Yeah. But with Pyromancer, you can do 7 mana one-sided clear and still have a 3/1. Plus whatever else you've got on the board. And a weapon.
I like it.
Nice, yeah. Hopefully, because I always love slow controlly Paladin. Always, always, always. And hopefully this is just enough of a nudge, to push it up to playable.
Kind of wonder why I haven't seen Pyromancer more lately to fight against Demon Hunter and Zooey and aggro type stuff. Maybe we'll continue to see more of him.
I don't know. I see a lot of risky skipper in Warrior, so that's that.
Yeah.
I think most decks that could use Pyromancer just don't play enough spells for him to be viable.
That makes sense.
Because I'm thinking, Mage is either playing Highlander or it's playing no minions. No.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, well, there's Druid doesn't care. Oh, there's
I don't know.
I guess Rogue could potentially do, but Rogue's minions are all tiny too, so maybe it doesn't want to do that.
So Priest, I guess, would be the class.
And Priest has plenty of board clear stuff these days. Or board control stuff these days, I should say.
Yeah, it doesn't have that fight. Oh, I can't remember the name. That 5 mana, everyone fight each other.
Mass Hysteria, yeah.
Mass Hysteria, yeah.
Oh, but it does have Shadow Word Ruin, so it's like, meh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know.
All right, so that's Paladin. And then finally, in another wild thing here, Open the Waygate, the Mage Quest, used to say cast 6 spells that didn't start in your deck, and you get Time Warp as the reward. Now it says cast 8 spells that didn't start in your deck, and you get Time Warp. And I scrolled down to the comments earlier to see what was going on, and a lot of people were like, oh no, how will Mage ever manage?
Yeah, because
I was like, I guess that's probably not as big a nerf as they might hope in Wild.
Yeah, because before I read the comments, I was like, I mean, I don't know what this deck does, but because of how I know Time Warp is usually used, at least the way it was used when it was still in Standard, that doesn't seem like they're actually changing anything.
No. They might be adding a turn, maybe 2, to how quick it can get the quest off.
But yeah, but then I mean,
yeah, but that doesn't change what the Time Warp
if they're still
does.
winning with Arcane Giant, then they've played a lot of spells, and I think it's fair to assume 8 of those were created by other effects. I mean, it's just I don't know.
Yeah. So we won't see because we don't play Wild, but I guess Wild players will see if that makes a difference at all. I do know that Quest Mage has been a major pain in the ass for a while now. Even I've heard that, and I don't play Wild.
And I saw people in the comments mentioning Vargoth, and I was like, ew.
Oh, that is filthy.
That's gross.
So, yeah. Those are the changes. Millhouse is getting a balance change because Millhouse has been busted in Battlegrounds for a while now.
Mm-hmm.
It used to be minions cost 2 gold, refresh costs 2 gold, start with 3 gold.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's all of that, and Tavern tiers cost 1 more. Which is pretty...
That's a big difference.
Yeah, that's a pretty big difference.
Didn't Millhouse also used to start on 2 gold, but then they bumped it up to 3?
Possibly?
I think so.
All of the Millhouse changes were before I started paying attention to Battlegrounds again, so I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, chat says yes.
Okay.
Also, if we scroll down a bit, the lurker below is a beast. I don't remember if the Lurker Below was a beast originally, but it was supposed to be. So either... I think I remember us saying it was a beast, so I think that they just left the tag off of the card, maybe, in practice?
Maybe. Yeah, maybe there were some other interactions or random effects that weren't counting it for some reason.
So yeah, Lurker Below is a beast now. You can get your 500 wins with Demon Hunter. Fixed a bug where Zephyrus the Great would not offer a lethal option if your hero had a large amount of attack. Okay. Interesting. And then this gets me. It says Zephyrus the Great has been updated to accommodate the Sacrificial Pact and Glaive-bound Adept changes. Oh, because the 6 and 7. So it won't offer, like, Big Game Hunter against it. I bet that's what that means. Because I'm like, Zephyrus doesn't know what the battle cries in your hand do.
I guess.
That's not it. So it's got to be, he won't look at Glaive-bound Adept and be like, here's a Big Game Hunter, idiot. And you'll be like, you're the idiot, Zephyrus.
But why would it... Okay, so that... If that's why, then that tells me something interesting about the way Zephyrus works.
Zephyrus has, like, thousands of lines of code, apparently.
Uh-huh. Because why wouldn't it just say, hey, that's a 7 or more power minion?
I don't know. That's the only thing I can think of.
Hey, that is not a 7 or more power minion.
Because that makes no sense at all otherwise. Because Zephyrus doesn't... He should just look and see card in hand, not... Because I don't think he looks at cards in your hand. I think he just knows you have cards in hand. I think he just looks at the board state and your amount of mana and like whether or not there's a weapon.
Play. Uh-huh.
Yeah, he looks at all the public information and picks the perfect card. I don't know. If anyone knows what that means, let us know, because now I'm curious. Because, yeah, the Sacrificial Pact change makes perfect sense. Glaive-bound Adept, when I read that, I went, no?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. So don't forget, if you have any of these cards, you can dust them once the patch goes live, which will be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, something like that. Once the patch goes live, you can dust all of these for the full amount, except for Altruist and Battle Fiend, because those are in the Demon Hunter Initiate set. So if you've got golden ones, you can dust those, but not the normal ones. Okay? Okay.
Got it.
All right. So what do we think, Mike? Overall.
Overall, seems like another round of good, reasonable changes. I'm not going to fault them too much for having to do another round of big changes that are many of them specifically associated with Demon Hunter being too good out of the gate, because the worst thing they could have done for this is make the new class stupid and boring.
Yeah.
They had to release it pushed, otherwise no one would have cared, and it just would have been a great big disappointment.
Yeah, I think we said this before. They probably erred on the side of slightly too good and hoped that it wasn't.
Yeah, and hoped that people figured things out with the other classes to put things back into balance.
Yeah, but that wasn't the case, and clearly a bunch of the Demon Hunter cards were way too good. So I am glad, like we keep saying, that they're perfectly happy to tweak some stuff until it's not so damn frustrating. Like, I'm so sick of combo Demon Hunter, dude. I really could.
Yes. Like,
if I could reach through the internet and disconnect any opponent who plays Demon Hunter and plays a Novice Engineer, I would do it and not feel bad. I'd be like, you know what? No. And they'd be like, your opponent left. I'd be like, ah! And I would take those wins, and that's what they get. But I also desperately hate playing against combo decks that can kill you from full health from hand.
Yes.
So, because that is awful and stupid and horrible. And I don't even care how many, like, well, they have to draw, like, there's the Mechathune decks and all of those. Well, they have to draw their entire deck. Yeah, that means their entire rest of their deck is built on stopping me, not on playing the game.
Mm-hmm.
And any sort of combo deck that doesn't have to play Hearthstone and then just, oh, I win. No, that sucks. I hate it. And I really wish they would get rid of those in Standard. I know that I'm not everyone's opinion there, but like if you want to play crazy win out of nowhere combo decks, go to Wild. I took 28 in one turn, 26 of which came out of nowhere. Like, come on. Anyway. But yeah, I'm hoping I'm still tripped out by like the Frenzied Fellwing and Altruis. I do like that what they're not like nerfing any of these cards into oblivion, except for Kael'thas. They need to nerf his ass into the ground. But
yes, oh my god.
But like all of these others, they're just little tweaks. I've been saying on the Magic podcast for years when there's a round of bans, and they don't ban like the combo piece, they ban this other card that makes the combo more consistent. I like that because you don't want to kill the combo, you just want to slow it down by a turn or two, or knock some percentage points off of its consistency and win rate.
Yeah, you don't want to kill the deck completely unless it's just absolutely necessary, unless there's just no other way to do it.
Like Birthing Pod.
Yes.
Which I was not happy with when they first did it, but then I realized that limited the design space for the rest of forever.
Right.
So they banned Birthing Pod, and eventually I was like, it's probably a good idea. I was not happy about it at the time, and I don't play that format, and I was still not happy about it. But now I'm happy about it. I'm glad they did it. Wish they'd done it sooner. Now, and that's what they're doing here. Like, they didn't nerf Altruis the Outcast by saying it doesn't hit face or anything stupid like that. They just added a mana to slow him down a bit.
Yeah.
The same with the Battle Fiend. They didn't make it like a 1/1 that gains attack. No, they just made it knock down 1 power so it can't get going as quickly.
Yeah, they didn't do like what they did with Mana Worm and make it cost 2 and knock it out of contention completely.
Exactly, yeah. Or what they did with... No, actually, Corridor Creeper kept seeing play. Corridor Creeper was a mistake in the first place. Like, Corridor Creeper should not have been printed as it was.
Circumventing mana costs, no.
Yeah,
Don't
for a
do
5/5. Wasn't it a 5/5?
It was a 5/5 originally.
Yeah. But...
And even as a 2/5, it still got play because you know what? A 1 mana, 2 mana, 2/5, still good stuff.
Yeah,
especially if you plan on evolving it into a big ass 8-drop.
So yeah, but they're not doing that here. They're just tweaking some knobs and switches here and there, and making things a little more what? I don't know. A little more palatable, I guess. I don't know.
I guess we'll find out.
Like the Bad Luck Albatross, it's a little too good to be a tech card, so let's bump its mana up by 1. The Frenzied Fellwing, it's a little too strong. Let's knock 1 point of health off. The Sacrificial Pact that's not what it was designed for. Let's stop that.
Right. It was never supposed to do that. So let's just put it back the way it was. Put it back the way it was.
And then Paladin gets a little bit of love with a small buff.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm really happy with this balance patch, except the fact that Kael'thas still says every third spell. But I will hate that forever.
We all will.
But anyway. I think they gave Demon Hunter too much card draw.
Yeah. They did.
Oh. Well, yeah, chat just said it hurts more with DH because they have so much card draw. See? It's like, what if we were a super aggressive class and we gave you all the card draw known to man? And Hunter's like,
hey, man.
But you said we couldn't. Like, shut up. You're a Hunter. He's Demon Hunter. He's the new kid. Be nice to him. He's He's killing people. You just don't like him because he's new. And Rexar's like, duh.
You just had the draw 3 beast spell. Shut up.
Just beast, though. Telling my mom. Anyway. So, yeah. I guess we're done. There we go.
All right.
This is just laughing too hard. So I guess we're done with this edition, the Demon Hunter Nerf Part 2 of the TMP Nerf Report.
Part 2 of X.
Yeah,
X
Part 2. You know what? That's the name of this. That's the name of this video, is Demon Hunter Nerfs Part 2 of X. I like that, Mike. So thank you all so very much for joining us. Let us know what you think of these nerfs down in the comments. And yeah, we will see you all in another, I'm going to say, 3 weeks? That's my prediction.
Yeah. When did we last do this? Was it really just like a week ago or something stupid like that?
I think it was 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Maybe?
I don't know.
Hang on. I'm actually going to look that up before Nerf. Because I've got YouTube open. The last Nerf report went up April 3rd. It was 5 days ago. That's when the video went up.
Uh-huh.
All right. So, yeah. We're recording this on the 18th. The last one went up on the 13th. Huh. All right. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt and say 3 weeks.
Yeah,
we'll see.
I mean, this is going to take a lot of work to finish integrating a 10th class.
Oh, yeah.
For a game that's just had the standard 9 since it started.
Yeah, as I keep saying, it's like adding purple to Magic.
Yeah.
It's not quite that insane because there's no cross play with different classes, like you can play different colors in Magic, but it's close to that. So yeah. But all right, so I'm going to predict, today's the 18th. Hang on, let's pull up the calendar. I'm going to predict we won't hear about more nerfs until the first full week of May. Now that I've said that, and knowing the last one was only 5 days ago, I don't know how I feel about that.
I mean, that's generous, but I don't think it's impossible.
That is exceedingly generous.
It's generous, but I don't think it's impossible.
All right, I'll stick to it. That'll sometime before like the 9th, in that week is when we'll hear about the next nerfs. That's my guess. How about you,
because they still got to implement these, right? They're not live yet.
Right. These will go live like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday next week. They said early next week, so.
So it's going to be at least 2 weeks. I don't think they'll have changes that they want to make just 1 week later.
I don't know. They did already, but
I don't know. Yeah, you're right. I don't know.
It's an unprecedented time in Hearthstone history adding a 10th class, so we have unprecedented frequency of nerfs. That, as Mike said, that's to be expected. It's not. This isn't bad. This means that they care and they're trying to make it better. Like the game itself, not Demon Hunter. They're trying to make Demon Hunter worse. Demon Hunter's already better. Let's stop that. But anyway, all right. So let us know what you think of these nerfs and when you think we'll get the next round of nerfs down in the comments. Thank you all so very much for joining us, and go play some Hearthstone.